Welcome back. For the record, I'm Jed Donahue. Our guest, Paul Nichols, founder of Financial Abundance, in-state college and independent registered investment advisory firm. A mouthful there, but it gets it done. We'll find out about this here in a couple of minutes about what Financial Abundance is all about. You were talking about just the influences that are out there. A lot of people don't pick up the phone and call like Financial Abundance or other financial houses, but they'll watch Mad Money with Kramer, or they'll see CNBC. Are these good or bad influences out there? And just give us what your opinion is. Is this really good for people that's their financial advice?
I think from an entertainment perspective, it's a lot of fun. Shows like Jim Cramer, whose producer, by the way, was behind the Jerry Springer show. So it's obvious that it's so kind of...
That explains a lot.
Yeah, it does explain a lot.
When he's pushing all that stuff.
Booyah and all that, yeah. Jim Cramer, that type of show and shows like that, they're entertainment. It's kind of like the Rush Limbaugh and all the other stuff. You got to keep this stuff into perspective. It's entertainment. Although I will say, I think Mr. Cramer's inference or his implied nature of a show that there's some insight to stock picking has done more to hurt most Americans than help them. If you look at it from entertainment, I think it's fun to watch every so often, but to follow the advice on there, I think is haphazard. I think he's done more to hurt most Americans than help them. Okay. As a result of the active nature.
Well, I'm going to follow up. Investment, is it about your own area, or is it knowing what's going on in others? But I mean, I'm talking about home court event. Marcellus Shale's going on around here, various things. We know the steel industry. I mean, things that are indigenous with who we are here in PA.
Like Enron.
That would be an example. Okay.
Yeah, and that's what we got to be careful about. I mean, I'm thinking of a client recently had $800,000 of his company stock in his 401k. My father, for that matter, works for a large defense company, just retired, had nothing but their stock. Great for him because we happened to be retire in a wartime era, but had it been 5 years earlier, it really would have hurt him. I don't think that's prudent diversification. Most money managers won't keep more than 5% of anyone's stock or any company. So we got to be careful about that.
Okay. And I guess the understanding the dimensions too, this is, right off of your webpage, understanding and more about education, risk and reward.
Yeah, if we're going to invest, we should expect a premium. We call it a risk premium.
Okay.
If I'm going to put my money at a potential loss, I should expect a higher return than if I just bought a CD or a T-bill. So we should expect a risk premium. Unfortunately, and I don't know if we have time to get into the rule of 72, a lot of people, the rule of 72 is simply a mathematical thing that says I can divide the number of years into 72, it takes my money to double, or the interest rate, for example. If I am earning 10% in my account about every 7 years, 10 into 72, 7, it should double. Well, when we look at most people's statements where they say their yields 10 or 12% for 3 or 5 years or 10 years, we often find their account value isn't incommensurate with that number. You understand what I mean by that?
Yeah, I think so.
And so as a result, a lot of times people aren't getting the returns they think they're getting. And again, people aren't doing what they really think they're doing. Again, a lack of understanding. Most people are just kind of following the crowd or what their advisor told them to do. And the advisor's doing what the institution told them to do.
Sure.
It's kind of like that.
Yeah, I want to get into, why you founded Financial Abundance. But let's do a history lesson first. We got about 3 minutes left, and I promised that we would leave enough time so we know who you are. But before you started Financial Abundance, you were out there with like a lot of the folks that frustrated you. You were one of the frustrators, so to speak, maybe that's a way of terming it.
Well, that's true. I got in the industry. It's a little interesting, Jed. I came into the industry not from college, like a lot of people that come into this industry. So you come from college, you go to a large firm, and then the firm says, here's how we do things. That's kind of how most businesses work.
Here's our blueprint, right?
Yes, here's our blueprint.
Right.
Our cookie cutter, whatever, okay? I came in as an entrepreneur that already had a successful business, sold it, and I said, hey, I want to get into this industry because I thought baby boomers would be the way to go, okay?
Right.
What I realized after being with 3 major brokerage, large firms, you would know the names of all the firms, was that I wasn't truly independent. I wasn't truly doing the best for my client. I was doing what I was dictated to do from the firm. And so after a while I said, wait a minute, I don't have access to the entire marketplace solution-wise, although I am with the big name outfit. What I realized was, in order for me to have access to all the marketplace as it relates to solutions for my clients, I had to actually break away from the industry start a firm and register it directly with the Securities and Exchange Commission to avoid any other firm dictating to me what I could do and not do. So the perception for many people is I'm with a big brokerage firm, I must have the best there is. No, you have access to what they're willing to sell you, okay? And that bothered me because I was trying to tell my clients I was independent, and legally I could say I was independent, but I wasn't independent. I was simply an employee for that firm, and it wasn't until I'd been in the firm for a number of years that I realized this. And that's when I broke away, started Financial Abundance, and registered it directly with the Securities and Exchange Commission.
All right, we got a minute, and we know that we're on hard time here. You have education classes at Penn State Altoona, Susquehanna University, we're all familiar with that, and of course South Hills Business School. We're at a minute or less right now. You say education is key. You've gotten a lot of clients out of these classes.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's part of the Financial Educators Network, which is made up of about 500 educators around the country, not just financial people, but professionals that are deeply concerned about the direction this country's headed in the area of financial literacy. This course is taught in over 200 colleges and universities. I just decided to take it upon myself to learn the course and then teach the course. And as a result, we have taught many people in the community, and a lot of people become clients. The fact of the matter is half the people don't have an advisor.
As we talked about
But they're
earlier,
intimidated
right?
by the industry. They don't know where to start, what to do. Start with education. Get a book, investment event, go to a class.
Well, Paul, I think if I was a student of yours, I know that I wouldn't be put to sleep by any of the stuff by your energy. It's been our pleasure to have you. We'll bring you back and talk more about the economy. Paul Nichols, everyone, with Financial Abundance, and you've seen their website underneath us. We appreciate you watching For the Record. Have a good day, everyone.